Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Strapper Post. How you're doing? And welcome to the live watch along between Czechia and Mexico and South Africa and South Korea, guys. Played at the same time now. The games are at the same time. It's when you get into the third game of the group, they start making it a little bit exciting. You know what I mean? So who's going to qualify from the group at playing at the same time? Obviously, there's still a chance for every single team in this group to qualify, basically. The top eight best third place teams go through, of course, and the other three go out. I think the other four go out, something like that. Big up everyone who's joined me today. Guys, before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, all that jazz to be absolutely fantastic. If you don't mind, let me just get through the lineups and stuff like that. I'm just going to share this with you, if you don't mind. Let me just have a look at this. Let's share this screen with you. So I'm going to just share this lineup with you real quickly. Let me put my graphic on. There we go. So you know, there we go. Okay, so the lineups are as follows. So these are the two lineups. Firstly, to start off with Czech Republic against Mexico. Of course, Mexico are basically through. That's the lineup for Mexico. I want to point you in the direction of the table more or less. Firstly, so this is Mexico, the group. Mexico got 6 points. They're through. Korea got 3 points. Czechia, Czech Republic, of course, I've got 1 point, and South Africa, I've got 1 point. So everything to play for in this group. Every single team in this group has an opportunity to come second and third, guys. Every one of these. So there's a chance for everyone. So at the end of the day, so that's that group there. Let me just take you to the other game today, guys, which is South Korea. And so I think I've done that one. Have I done that one? No. South Korea and South Africa. Yeah, so here we go. This is that group. I've just shown you that group. So let me go to the other game, sorry, which is Czechia and Mexico. So this game, yeah, so this table here, basically same group, in it, same table. But I just want to say Mexico are through. South Korea, I've got 3 points. Czechia got 1 point. South Africa got 1 point. You know what's going to make it very interesting? No, Czechia and South Africa cannot afford a draw. One of them has to win. If they want to qualify, looking at the groups, this is what I was going to do. I was going to take you to the actual third place in the group. So let's have a look at this. So if you come third, look, you're going to have to look at these teams here. Look, Bosnia have already got 4 points. So you've got Bosnia on 4 points, Sweden, Croatia, Algeria. It goes up to 8. At the moment, I don't think you can afford like 2 points. I mean, I think the other teams are going to get some more points. There's one more game to go. I don't think they can afford to drop in. I think one of those teams have to actually win. So I would say, yeah, like you have to aim at 4 points, in my opinion. You have to aim at 4 points. You have to aim at that, because you've got already Bosnia on 4 points. They've played 3 games already. Then you've got to look at Sweden, Croatia, Algeria, Hungary. Apart from Scotland, you've got Cape Verde, Belgium on 2 games. So one of those teams win, they're going to be up to the 2 of those teams win up to 5. The rest of them up to 6. Most of them only need a point. Scotland could be going out. Obviously, they are still in the top 8 best third place teams. But losing 3-0 to Brazil tonight was absolutely damaging to their aspirations of qualifying for the next round. So they'll be going out of the tournament, definitely, I feel, especially with their goal difference of -3. So they'll be going out, definitely, in my opinion. So you know what? If Czechia win today, or what, anything of that nature, they'll shoot straight up that table, definitely. So it'll be 5. So basically, I would say, predicting that it would be 4 points and 5 points that will go through. So I think the top 3 would be 5 and the bottom half will be 4. So yeah, I really do think that you need about 4 points if you're going to qualify, if you have aspirations to qualify from this group, definitely, guys. So it's going to be interesting. Thank you, everyone who joined me today for this watch along, of course. 2 double watch along, of course. So I'll keep an eye on both games, guys. I've got both games on, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on both of them, of course, guys. So I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. Big up, everyone. Let's say hello to Ephraim. What's going on? The legend that is Ephraim. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Max. Hope you're well. And big up my friend Pai Marley. What's going on? Looking forward to the South Korea game. That should be a good game, definitely. That's the one I'm concentrating on at the moment. I'm concentrating on that South Korea game, because I do believe that is a very, very good game. It's very competitive, that game, definitely. So we're going to get underway here, guys. We are getting underway now. So we're going to get underway. Let's put this on. Yeah. So we're underway now, guys. Games are kicked off. There you go. This is when it gets to the nitty gritty, guys. You know, when it gets to the nitty gritty, when it gets to the last game of the group, and they do this by purpose, don't they? They play them at the same time so that, you know, teams have nerves and they can see what's going on in the other game, and it makes it more exciting, doesn't it? And stuff like that. But South Korea, obviously, one of my dark horses, of course, a good side. South Africa disappointed me a little bit this tournament. However, they're not out of the tournament, and they could still qualify, of course, guys. Big up Hassan, man, I'm sick of losing players to Spurs. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, look, I'm going to speak about that later on Breaking Dawn. Definitely, I'm going to speak about, you know, the situation surrounding Manchester United, definitely, which is an absolute, you know, mess at the moment. Look, at the end of the day, look, obviously time will tell, isn't it? Time will tell. Nothing is off the table, Hussein. Nothing's off the table at the moment. Everything is still on the table in regards to transfers and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Everything is still on the table. So I wouldn't count out anything yet. There's a lot of spin going on at the moment. Let me just take a sip of coffee, guys. Fix my hair a little bit. There you go. It's all you can do at 5 o'clock in the morning. It is 5 o'clock in the morning where I am, guys. Czechia. They're out for a throw-in. Yeah, I'm mainly watching the South Africa Korea, but I am keeping an eye on the other game as well. Absolutely. My opinion, Hussein, is you know, everyone knows my opinion about Ineos and the Glazers. Everyone knows that thing. I don't think the deal is off. No. The deal is not off. This happened last year, Hussein. Let me remind you. Chance, header, cleared. Let me remind you, right? There was when Mbeumo last year was going to go to Man United. Do you remember there was a period in between the transfer window where everyone was saying that Bryan Mbeumo is going to go to Spurs? Remember that? Same thing. They're trying to make Man United forced to pay the money, you know, at the end of the day. They're calling each other's bluff. Like, for example, Man United says, that's okay, we're going to walk off. We're fine, we're going to walk off. You know what I mean? Big up Pictics. No, we're talking about Fernandes, Pictics. Let me just straighten my screen. Yeah, we are keeping an eye on both games. We're definitely keeping an eye on both games. I'm keeping an eye on both games, definitely. I'm going to keep an eye on the group as well, how the group is looking as well. Obviously, the Scotland lost last night by 3-0. What a waste of space, eh? Scotland, what a waste of space. Absolute waste of space. Morocco, fantastic again, defeating Haiti by 4-2. Morocco, one of my dark horses. I think Morocco are fantastic. I've said it from the beginning of the tournament, how good Morocco are. They're absolutely brilliant, man. Absolutely. I do, Hussein. I remember everyone was saying it. He's going to Spurs. Everyone was saying it. Look, at the end of the day, nothing is off the table. Let me tell you that right now. I know for a fact nothing is off the table. Nothing. But if he goes to Spurs, what can Man United do about it? You know, we have to go and get someone else. There are players out there. This is the thing. This obsession about Matheus Fernandes, like he's the best player in the world. He is not. You know what I mean? He's not. He got relegated to West Ham at the end of the day, right? So what I would say is this: there are other players out there as well. You know, if Man United don't get Matheus Fernandes, they better go and get Tchouaméni. They better go and get someone like that. You know, a Tonali or someone. There are players there. Nobody is signed for anybody right now. That is the current fact that we are at. And until that happens, there's no point dillying and dallying about it. Because you know, with business, right, and including Man United, you could be holding the shirt and the deal could still be off. You know, do you remember Mikel at Chelsea, who signed for Chelsea when he was going to sign for Man United? He actually held out the Man United jersey and then it ended. Until that happens, I'm not going to be stressing myself. I said it. I'm not going to be stressing myself. Yes, we have to call it. Yes, we have to be concerned. Yes, we have to call out the owners. Yes, we have to put the pressure on. Absolutely. But what I would say is this, right? Nothing has been done yet. When Matheus Fernandes signs for Man United or signs for Spurs, then we're going to make an opinion on that. And then we're going to start getting angry and we're going to start throwing our rattles out of our pram. Of course we will. We have to. You know, but at the end of the day, what I would say is that, look, Man United, when Man United are involved, Man United includes spin. Man United like to make the transfer window into a soap opera. That's what they do. It's on, it's off. Here comes South Africa on attack. Corner. Is that a corner? Yeah, that's got to be a corner. Is that a corner? It was too slow, the South African player. It's a corner to South Africa here. It's a corner to South Africa, guys. South Africa, of course, playing in all yellow today. Korea are playing in all red, as they do, guys. So corner to South Africa here. Very interested about this game. This is the only, this is the type of game you like, in it. These two games, like, very, very interesting. I was going to Czechia, Mexico is a good game. Mexico are through. The thing is that South Africa and Korea they can basically level. Do you know what I mean? So whoever wins this is basically winner takes all, isn't it? Chance for South Africa, shot over the bar. Oh, that was a good strike for the number 10 there, guys. There, absolutely good shot. But yeah, but call it on the half volley, to be honest with you. Call it on the half volley. I've never been a fan of the half volley. When you shoot from off the half volley, Mofokeng. But it is a corner, another corner to South Africa. South Africa started brightly here. It's another corner. Mofokeng is obviously the number 10 for South Africa. Up front, they've got Makgopa. Of course, corner comes in. Cleared away, cleared away by Korea again. Korea hanging on a little bit here. Hanging on. They started very brightly, South Africa. Absolutely. They'd be looking to get an early goal, South Africa, of course. Look, the one thing that disappointed me about South Africa, I think, was the first game. It was the first game against Mexico that I was disappointed with them, because I felt like they played the occasion. I thought they got a little bit nervous. And World Cup is difficult. Of course, it's difficult. And, teams are going to get nervous and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And you're going to get, bad games in the World Cup, especially, because the pressure is so intense. It's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? The pressure of these games is the World Cup. You cannot comprehend how nervous these teams get, because there's such a, even when I was younger, it was even worse. It was even worse than now. Do you know what I mean? Back when I was younger, the pressure was even more. Like, they used to, here come Korea. Chance. He's got a chance here. Oh, he's missed it. It was a big chance. It was a big chance. It was a massive chance there for Lee. Kang In Lee of PSG had the chance there. Of course, the very talented Kang In Lee. He crossed in there. It was cut in, crossed in, and Kang In Lee should have done better there. Should have done better. If he hit the target, that's a goal. If he hit the target, that's a goal. Kang In Lee, that was just wide of the post. That would have been 1-0 to Korea. This is the danger of South Korea. They are pretty good. You're gonna have to be very, very careful not to get them, because they'll catch you on the break. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, absolutely, they'll catch you on the break. Big up everyone in the stream, guys. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today. I appreciate everyone who's joined me today, guys. It is early morning for me, wherever you are in the world. Thank you. Absolute legends, of course. Look, my prediction for this game, I would say it's going to be, I got this feeling it's going to be a draw, I've had this feeling for a while. I think this game is going to be a draw. Definitely going to be a draw for me. I think both teams are very similar and stuff. And I think it will be. Still 0-0 in both games. Czechia 0, Mexico 0, and South Africa 0, South Korea 0. Big up, Greg. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. I thought you were taking the rest of Wednesday off. No, I was taking yesterday off. I'm 3 hours. I'm many hours ahead of you, Gregory. If you haven't realized, I'm in the Middle East. You're in America. So I was taking the night off. So I took yesterday off, which was the Qatar game, of course, and the other game, Bosnia game, of course. Bosnia defeated Qatar by 3-1, by the way. Switzerland defeated Canada by 2-1. And in regards to that, in regards to the groups, what is in these groups, if you look at the groups now in the World Cup, Canada and Switzerland topped the group now. They've topped the group. Switzerland have 7 points. Canada have 4 points. Bosnia have 4 points. Bosnia go into that third place playoff, no playoff, but third place qualification. I think there should be a playoff. Third place, and Qatar go out as expected. So Qatar, Bosnia, Canada, Switzerland top the group. Well done to Switzerland for winning that group. Absolutely. And Canada comes second in that group, guys. So that is the situation right now. So look, this is where it gets serious now. This is where you can get knocked out. Do you know what I mean? Of the tournament. And this is why they put 2 gold games on at the same time, so that they make it more exciting and nerve-wracking. You're looking at. I never forget when Man United were playing in the 90s, and we had the games against Blackburn, games against West Ham, and Blackburn were playing Liverpool. Man United were playing West Ham at Upton Park, and Blackburn scored, and then Liverpool scored, and this is what they like to do, isn't it? They like to make it exciting and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Big up Hassan. How you doing, my friend? Everyone, salam alaikum, my brother. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope everyone is good in the stream, guys. Hope everyone is having a lovely time. Thank you so much, Gregory. And you, by the way, Gregory, I did say that you needed a break as well, mate. You know, you do. It isn't easy to stay up, and you know what I mean? And I have to be sharp, you know what I mean? Here come Korea, though. Korea. There's a good challenge for South Korea, really bedding themselves into this game at the moment. South Africa are defending now. They did start very well, mind you. South Africa, to be honest with you, in this game, they did. I was impressed with their start, to be honest with you. Hussein, all the situation is because the stupid Mendes, does a player's agent really have that much influence over a player? Yeah, they do. Because what I was saying, Hussein, about player agents, Sir Alex Ferguson had a big problem. This is why Sir Alex Ferguson got rid of Pogba initially, because of the agent. So basically, Alex Ferguson despised agents. He hated agents, right? And he would like not deal with them, right? And he's right, because what they do, they're intelligent agents. And I'm sorry to sound a bit out of order, but footballers are not very intelligent. I'll be honest with you. Footballers are not very intelligent, so that's why they need an agent. Apart from in the 90s, Man United didn't need agents. Scholes didn't need an agent. Keane didn't need an agent. They didn't need an agent because actually quite smarter then. You know what I mean? And you know, what I would say is that Alex Ferguson despised agents, and this is why a lot of these players have agents so that they can wheel and deal finance and stuff like that, and money, get them more money and things like that. That's why players have agents and musicians as agents and things like that, because they're getting the best deal. That's why, because footballers, musicians, and that, they're not very smart, unfortunately. You know, so they need agents to do their dirty work for them to like. So what an agent would do, i.e. George Mendes or whether it's Mino Raiola from back in the day, is that they will manipulate the media. So basically, for Man United to spend money on a certain player, they will say that, oh, you know, this team's after them. This team's already made an offer, you know, so you got to hurry up and spend the money. You know what I mean? And stuff like that, because you know what? He's going to go to Tottenham, you know, and stuff like these kind of things happen. And then they have a relationship with the media, and then they plant that seed into the media, and then the media spread it around. And before you know it, you got hysteria, clicks and likes and this and that, and it creates chaos, doesn't it? And then Man United obviously would turn around and say, well, you know what? We got to pay up. Otherwise, Tottenham are going to get him, you know, if you want the player. Alex Ferguson famously got rid of World Cup winner Paul Pogba, and people saying, why did he get rid of Paul Pogba at a young age, right? Mino Raiola, God rest his soul. I know he's passed away recently, but you know, it was Mino Raiola, you know, and he tried to win. It's disrespectful to Sir Alex, who was the greatest manager of all time. Alex obviously built teams and stuff, and Pogba was on his high horse with his agent, and Alex Ferguson said, okay, you're only 16, 17 years old, bye-bye, and he went to Juventus, you know, and that's what happened, you know, and these things happen. Agents are just such leeches, you know what I mean, especially George Mendes now, he's the modern day Mino Raiola, isn't he? He's just but one thing I know is that Christopher Vivell and George Mendes have a relationship. They have quite a good relationship, to be honest with you. Yes, I should be working at Man United. I've heard a lot of people say that. I should be an agent. I should be a football agent. Well, I was a music manager, so I was almost an agent, basically. Hassan, Morocco got the win, but good show by Haiti. Yeah, big respect to Haiti. Absolutely, Wycliffe and all that. You know, yeah, good show from Haiti. Losing 4-2 to Morocco. Though Morocco are one of the best teams in the tournament, in my opinion. They are absolutely phenomenal at the moment. They're winning every game. They dominated the game against Brazil. Should have won that game, drew the game in the end, but should have won that game. And they beat Haiti. Haiti have done a very good show to themselves, and they have to hold their head up high, definitely. Hopefully they'll be in the next World Cup. And, you know, the more World Cups you have, the better you get, you know, the more experience you get and stuff like that. I know he's not the best player in the world, but it's frustrating that our stupid board doesn't know how to. Yes, I know, Hassan. It is very frustrating. And the biggest frustration for me, Hassan, is a certain group of fans that are gaslighting us to believe that Ineos they can do nothing wrong. And that is my biggest problem with it. Because they believed in Ineos from the beginning, Ineos can do no wrong, and they'll make excuses for Ineos under the sun. Every excuse there is, they're going to make an excuse for Ineos. Do you know what I mean? That's, and it's frustrating, but I'm watching it with eagle eye, but I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to come on here and tell you what I think. I don't hide anything on this channel. So if Ineos do a bad thing, and I will say they're doing bad, you know what I mean? But I know right now as I speak, here's a chance for South Africa. It's going to be cleared for another corner to South. Is it? No, it's a goal kick. I know, look, at the end of the day, look, there are certain content creators out there that don't want to say anything bad about Ineos because they want their VIP passes and things like that. For me, it's all about the football club. And this is why this channel is growing. It's because we are talking about the truth. Here comes South Africa again, given away by South Korea. Korea, very clumsy in the opening third here. They're giving away the ball to South Africa, giving a lot of respect. But South Africa started very quickly. Cross comes in, cleared away again. Cleared away again. Impressed with South Africa so far, though, because Korea are a good team. They're a good team. Very impressed. I'm definitely feeling whole. Big up. Good to sit here, that mate. No Alex Ferguson is needed around. No, because Alex Ferguson. No, we were successful. You know what success breeds? Success brings confidence, and you don't need to move from. Obviously, Paul Scholes isn't the brightest star in the sky. You know what I mean? A lot of these footballers that come through, they're great footballers, but they're quite dim. Honestly, some of the footballers I've met in my life, they are quite dim. They're not very bright, right? And that's because they didn't go to school and they didn't get educated. And then, like some footballers, they'll be getting 2,000, 3,000 a week by the time they're 16 years old. That's and then they complain like, oh, you know what, a footballer's career is short. We have to get paid more because a footballer's career is short. Goodness me, some footballers are getting 300 grand a week. Some people don't get 300 grand in 5 years. It's ridiculous. So they're not bright. It's simple as that. Do you know what I mean? And this is why I've had footballers. I've spoken to footballers in the past about football, and some of them, their opinions are like they're not very smart. And they don't delve deeply into things. In regards to context and things like that. But yeah, so Alex didn't like agents. So Alex hated agents. He didn't deal with them. He said, if you want to have an agent, you get out the football club. That's what he was like. Fair play. So that's why he's successful, though, wasn't it? Hassan, this George Mendes we are talking about, he's one of the most powerful agents in the world football, like a political. But yes, yeah, a lot of them are. Mino Raiola was as well. They know not only footballers, they know important politicians as well and things like that. They know media people. They know people in newspapers and things, Like I know Ben Jacobs, right? Ben Jacobs is now one of the biggest agents in the world, right? I know of him. And like if I carry on, getting to know agents and things like that, and I get to know other agents, other journalists and things, I become more powerful because I have agents, I have journalists under my wing. The most important thing you have to have, here comes a chance for South Africa. They're clean through here. Is a big chance. Can he score? And he's hit it straight at the player at the corner. Listen, the more you get to know, because at the end of the day, look, what they do is like, for example, right, there's content creators online. Some of them will pay big agents to co-sign something they've said. For example, Man United are going to sign such and such player. David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio, could you retweet this for me to make it look official? I mean, so Fabrizio will say, yeah, give me this, blah, blah, blah. And they'll retweet it for you and make you look like a proper agent, proper serious person in the know. You know what I mean? And that's what they do. But agents are money. You know what I mean? That's what they are. They're money and with contacts, that's what they are. And yeah, that's what they are. So that's why Alex Ferguson didn't want to get involved. Shot from South Africa there. At the number 7 for South Africa. Good strike there. Good strike there. That is Apolis. A lot of the players in this South Africa side, of course, play in South Africa. Apolis plays for Orlando Pirates. A lot of them play in South Africa. Sundowns as well is the teams that they play for, and Kaiser Chiefs is another. Another Kaiser Chiefs. Is it Kaiser Chiefs? Kaiser Chiefs. There are 4 different starters for South Korea, namely. Yes, I know, Gregory. Tell me about it. The only Lee they haven't got is Chun Lee. They're missing the boat there. They've got loads of Lees. Yeah, they've got loads of Cho and Lee, Lee, and Park. So yeah. So Kun In Lee is the one who plays for Paris Saint-Germain. He's the main Lee. He's the one that you have to look at because he's the one who plays in France for the best team in Europe at the moment. So him. There's obviously Cho, Park. Remember Ji-Sung Park used to play for Man United? He doesn't play anymore. He's retired. One of the most underrated players who play for Man United. He had the engine, that guy. He never stopped running. The silence around the deal by Manchester United is weird. Now, when there's silence around the deal, it could be 2 things. It could be radio silence, which basically means there's something going on behind the scenes that no one can hear about, and the talks are going on, or they're doing nothing. I would like to believe that they are doing something because we need 7-8 players to sign. The window is open. However, the new fiscal year, the financial year, starts in July the 1st. So if they buy a player now, it's going to go onto the books of this year. So basically, they can affect FFP and PSR. And then, so that is obviously detrimental to Man United. They have to wait until the 1st of July. So when the 1st of July happens, the financial year resets. And they can spend all the profits that they've made from that year. So basically, revenue, transfer funds, season ticket sales, shirts. They've released free shirts. There's all that stuff, you know what I mean? And obviously, main thing is revenue, which Man United make about 200 million a year in revenue. Man United got 191 million from finishing 3rd in the league. It's a lot of money involved. It's difficult, but this is why Man United needed Qatar, and they needed a full sale, because the difference is that they would have just absolutely splashed money on it, and would have cleared Man United's 1.1 billion debt easily, and then that would obviously affect PSR and FFP in a positive way. When Alex Ferguson, before we were taken over by the Glazers, Man United had so much money. We had 20 years of success. But the Glazers came in and they purchased the club on debt. So basically got a loan out and put the loan on the club, and every profit that the club makes, it goes to the loan, and not even paying off capital, paying off the interest. So this is why we're 1.1 billion in debt. It was 500 million then. They still haven't paid 1 penny off capital of the loan. Can you believe that? They don't even like football, and they've done that. That's not allowed, by the way, in England anymore. That's actually illegal now. It's funny how they don't do retrospective action against them, isn't it? They did against Abramovich, the Russian billionaire, of course, who actually helped Chelsea win multiple titles and things like that. But, here we are, still 2026, 21 years of the Glazers and that now. So there we go. It's mad. Yeah, big up everyone in the stream, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate everyone. It's still 0-0 in both games, by the way. We've got a hydration break here, guys, at the moment. I mean, Fernandes is a decent player, but he isn't Tonali. He might develop into better, but as it stands, if you're going to pay 90 million for Tonali, pay 80 million. I mean, what would you say, Hassan, about Tchouameni? Now, for example, if Man United have got an opportunity to purchase Tchouameni, Tchouameni's a better player than both of them, in my opinion, right? I like Tonali. However, Tonali, I obviously, I have Italian, I watch Italian football, Italian background and stuff like that. But one thing it was, Tonali is, he disappointed me a couple of times this season. He did, and including for Italy against Bosnia, if you know. If you know, you know. I would say that Tchouameni for me would be the signing. However, I won't turn my nose up at Tonali. Absolutely not. I would say Tchouameni for me, definitely. So, are you both watching? Yes, I am. I'm keeping an eye on both games. I've got 2 eyes, one for one game, one for the other games, and they ain't spread out. Unfortunately, not yet. Not like was it Men in Black? Yeah. Yeah, they're not spread out, but yeah, I'm keeping an eye on both games. Both games are 0-0. Hydration break at the moment. Yeah, these hydration breaks are jarring, man. Honestly, God, they do drive me mad, honestly, guys. But it's good to have you here. It's good to have everyone here, guys, in this beautiful stadium, by the way. Yeah, South Korea. I'm talking about the South Korea against South Africa game, and this game is in Monterrey, in Mexico. Look at that view, guys. Unbelievable. There's a big mountain behind the stadium. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, Mexico is a lovely country. The closest I've come to Mexico is Cuba. I've only been to Cuba. I've never been anywhere like other than that there in that part of the world. I've been all over America. Love America. I like American people. America's lovely. I mean, some people, when I went to Detroit, right? I went to Detroit and people said, "Oh, it's dangerous. Oh, it's dangerous. Don't go to Detroit. It's dangerous." I was shooting a music video out there. People know with Shady Records and that, Eminem and D12 and stuff. I was shooting a music video out there, and everyone was so friendly and nice, you know. And me and my brother, we're like basically people who don't just sit in a hotel. We walk around like madmen. Yeah. You know what I mean? And people are saying, like, people when we speak, people are like, "Where are you from?" And UK. And they go, "Oh my goodness me." One thing I would say about Detroit, I've never seen a McDonald's so packed in my life. It was like, I remember like there was a McDonald's like, and it was a big queue outside and stuff. The biggest disappointment for me in regards to Detroit, here comes South Korea, is Motown. Motown's in the middle of a derelict area and such a famous studio that's hosted likes of Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Smokey Robinson, and people like that. It's just a small little hut of a house, and it was surrounded by derelict, you know, which was a bit sad. Anyway, here come South Korea. South Korea got it on the right-hand side, corner to South Korea here. South Africa, good tackle. Good tackle there. So you already know my opinion about Aurelien Tchouameni, whatever it takes. Yeah, Tchouameni, Gregory, you know as well as I do, isn't it? You know what players that Man United need to search for, they need to get. You know what I mean? Tchouameni, even Angelo Stiller, guys. There are players out there. This is what I'm talking about. Look at Ower Bawadi. Everyone knows how good Ower Bawadi is, man. Everyone knows. Go and get him. Again, you know what I mean? This guy is playing in his World Cup, first major tournament. And the way he's played. Cross comes in, out of play for a goal kick. Still 0-0. "28 minutes gone." Agreed. If you get Tchouameni, it's the best case scenario. Tonali might give you a little flavor of played in the A. He'd give anyone that flavor. I mean, as we stand, right? As we stand as Man United fans, we are weaker than last season, right? And this is a fact that we have to look at. We ain't got Casemiro next season, you know, and we've only got Mainu. I think Ugarte is going to leave. We've only got Mainu at the moment. And as we stand as a football club, we are weaker and we have to improve. And we know who's going to improve. Man United. Everyone know we all know ball. We know that Tonali is a good player. We know Tchouameni is a good player. And then you obviously get to, because I think that Tonali and Tchouameni are tier A. So basically you got tier A, right? So you got Tonali, Anderson, Tchouameni, right? Those three are tier A for me. I would love Tchouameni because of his experience, Champions League, winning trophies and that. And you know, that's why I want Tchouameni, because he's experienced. France, starter, right? And then you get to the tier 2, which is, for me, Mateus Fernandes, Alex Scott, Angelo Stiller, you know, those type of tier 2 players. I would even class Ayoub Bawadi. Ayoub Bawadi for me now has moved from tier 3 to tier 2. I think he's tier 2 player now. And I think we need to like look at him very seriously. We've been talking about him since the beginning, like before people were mentioning him on this channel. And, you know, we envisioned that this will happen with Ayoub Bawadi. You know what I mean? Ayoub Bawadi. And that's what happens, you know? You miss out, you miss the boat, you're not quick, you miss out on players, you know what I mean? But there are players out there, you know, there are players out there. I've seen a couple in this tournament that look good. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the problem is that, you know, I'll give you an example, right? The problem is we're run by businessmen and businessmen only, right? That's what the problem is. We're run by businessmen, right? And they only care about how much money we're going to make. Now, let me give you an example, right? I've been around the block, okay? So at the end of the day, when a Western billionaire comes in, the Western billionaire, the first thing that they will say to you is, how much money can we make from this? That's what they will say to you. This is exactly the Glazers. The Glazers will go, how much money can we make in such and such amount of time? How much profit can we make? So basically, the Glazers have not spent a penny on this football club, right? They're actually a curse to this football club. You know what I mean? And chance, good save. Is it a goal? It's another good save. It should have been a goal to South Africa. I can't believe he's missed. Obviously, the goalkeeper there who made that horrendous error the last game, of course, against Mexico, has redeemed himself somewhat here. Wonderful save there. 2 wonderful saves. I don't know. It might have been offside for the South African player, but it was almost a tap-in. But the goalkeeper saved it anyway. Unbelievable save. 2, a double save there. Unbelievable. Whereas a Middle Eastern of that nature, or a Russian, will come into the football club and say, how can we make this club successful? Not how much we can make. How can we make this club successful? And this is through my experience, right? And I've dealt with Sony, Universal Records, Columbia, all these big major companies I've spoken to, right? And in regards to music, it's a similar thing. How much money can we make? Don't worry about his talent, but how much money can we make from it? You know what I mean? How can we get money from this? That's what it basically is. Whereas in the Middle East, how can we make this the best? How can we turn Man United into the most successful football club in the world? You know what I mean? That's basically what it is, you know? Angelo Stiller to play alongside Aurelien Tchouameni would be brilliant. It would be, yes. United would have arguably the best midfield in the Premier League. Yes, Gregory, they would. They would. That's exactly what I'm saying. Do you want to be the best? Or do you just want to get what's cheap and profitable? You know, that's it. You want to be, we want to be the best. We don't care what happens in the financial market. I don't know why people, you know, talk about finances so much. I don't know why they rant and rave about, you know, oh, we can't spend that much money on Mateus Fernandes. Oh my goodness me, that's too much. Guys, we are not accountants. We are football fans. Right? This is Manchester United. I think a lot of the fan base are getting manipulated by the Glazers and Ineos, you know. This whole thing, you know, that they've got no money. And everything I hear coming out of the Glazers and Ineos mouth, especially Ineos at this moment, because they are the Glazer mouthpiece at the end of the day, we ain't got no money. It's too expensive. We're going to walk away. Everything negative, 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 negative. That's all they are. Negative, negative. They don't come out and say, well, we're delighted because we've got 191 million for finishing 3rd in the league. We've got 100 million from the Champions League. We're getting 200 million in revenue. We've got 40 million from Rasmus. We're losing, we're gaining wages from Sancho, Rashford, and Casemiro. Millions a year. We're in a very good position. They don't do that, do they? It's always negative. Oh, we got debt. Oh, we ain't got no money. Oh, we got to walk away. It's too expensive. This is what this ownership is. Exactly what I said. And we warned that. Many of us warned people before they walked into the football club. Exactly this. We warned people before they walked into the football club. Hassan, Ugarte going isn't exactly a loss. My question is how you guys going to afford Mount? Offload? We're not going to offload Mount. Anyone would be absolutely bonkers, Hassan, if anyone signs Mason Mount. That'd be crazy. Honestly, I'll be honest. Nobody wants to buy an injury-prone player that plays 10% of the season. You know what I mean? It's the only thing that Man United can do. And if I was Coventry, if I was Ipswich, if I was the ownership of those people, Coventry, Ipswich, these teams at Hull City who got promoted, I'd be looking at loaning Mason Mount. That's what I'd be doing. Right now, I'd be saying, how can we get Mason Mount? Get him on loan. Obviously, because then you protect yourself. This, at the end of the day, obviously, these teams need to protect themselves. And every team that, you know, wants a player, they're going to look at the player and they've got his injury record. Like, I like Camavinga. I'm a big fan of Camavinga, right? But he's injury prone. His injury prone is through the roof. Chance, good shot from South Korea. Wide from Hee-chan. It was wide from Hee-chan, just past the post, but it's a good strike. Here, still 0-0, guys. 35 minutes ago. Still 0-0 with Czechia and Mexico as well. Still 0-0. Czechia, Mexico, basically, Czechia having the better of the game. Of course, Mexico already through. You know, they're having slightly the better of the game at the moment in regards to that game. But in regards to this game, obviously, both South Africa and South Korea can qualify from this group. It is still 0-0, you know. So, yeah, it's he who wants it most, you know. Obviously, South Korea have the biggest opportunity. South Korea only need a draw, really, kind of, but that is dodgy. Obviously, you have to rely on the other teams. I do believe 4 or 5 points will go to the top 8. But in regards to South Africa have to win. They have to win. Definitely, they have to win this game. And Czechia. because obviously both of those teams, Czechia and South Africa, on 1 point. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at it, if they draw this game, like they're out basically. So if this is a draw, Czechia and South Africa will be on 2 points. They'll be out of the tournament. South Korea and Mexico, because if it's a draw, third place even won't do it, because even with Scotland on 3 points, I have to rely on everyone else. You know what I mean? So basically, Czechia and South Africa will be out, more or less be out of the tournament. Yes. South Korea will go through. Technically, as we stand, South Korea only need a point, because if they get a point, they come second. They're through. You know, so South Korea, cool. You know, but South Africa, they really need to try hard to win this game. You know, this is what I'm talking. That's why I've done this game, because if South Africa win, South Africa will have 4 points, right? South Korea will have, there's a 1 point. Yeah. So that South Korea have 1 point. South Korea will be going out. Now, South Korea, well, how many points will they have? So they got 4 points at the moment if this is a draw. If they don't draw this, if they lose a point, now 3 points. So that would mean that South Africa, if South Africa wins, South Africa will leapfrog South Korea on 4 points. South Korea will go down to third on 3 points. And 3 points is not enough to get through in the best third place position, in my opinion. Mason Mount had to go. He has to go. So does Ugarte. We got a few players there. Xerxes may have to leave. It's whether we can get rid of him. Obviously, there was talk about. Let me just say something about Juventus. Juventus are in debt, and huge debt. They put all their cards in qualifying for the Champions League, right? And they have not qualified for the Champions League, so Juventus have to make money. They're actually in quite a lot of debt. You know what I mean? So they have to make money. Juventus have to make money, and they can't buy players. The only thing they could do is sell. So people saying that they're going to buy Xerxes, it's wide off the mark. The only way that Man United can sell Xerxes to Juventus is Juventus offer us a player. For example, Kefrem Turam, someone like that, or I mean, in the dream world, Kenan Yildiz. You know what I mean? In the dream world, I mean, it's never going to happen. Obviously, Kenan Yildiz is valued at 100 million. However, we can do a deal where we give them Xerxes and we give them also about 40, 50 million on top of that for Kenan Yildiz. That's what we can do. It's how you play the game, isn't it? It's how you play the game. And yeah, we still remember Rashford. Rashford still is at the football club. You know, what do we do with Rashford? It's not about Rashford's talent. I mean, obviously, Rashford is a very talented player. We know that. But it's not about Rashford's talent. It's about his attitude, isn't it? That's the thing. Technically, still United signed to United Gregory, which means technically you're still paying his bills. Yep. Yeah. Look, guys, look, I'm going to speak about it. Obviously, here come South Africa shot over the bar again. Over the bar for Maseko there. Yeah, it's way over. But obviously, when I do a show called Breaking Dawn, as Greg knows, and everyone knows, I do a show called Breaking Dawn, which is 7 a.m. UK time, 10 a.m. Middle Eastern time, 8 a.m. Central European time. And at about 9 a.m., I make a call every single morning to someone who works at the football club. I'm not obliged to tell you, but every single morning. And I get the basis of what's going on. I get the basis of what's going on. And right now, this is I'm talking about yesterday, right? For me, yesterday. But when today, I'm going to get the latest. And it's important everyone tunes in, because that's when you're going to get the news. And that's it. Remember, on this channel, we called Patrick Dorgu before everyone else, right? We called him Buemo for anyone else. We called Seni Lamans months before Man United signed him. That's what we do here, right? And we will get down to the nitty gritty of it, you know. Yeah. Gregory, I'm happy to see United spend £500 million this summer, because whatever isn't spent of the available funds is folded over and placed back into the owner's pocket. Exactly. Yeah. And this is exactly why I don't get it, Greg, that how so many people could be so obsessed with them saving money. It really doesn't make any sense to me. Because all I care about, Man United are in a unique position where we have to go absolute rogue on the transfer market. We have to. We've left ourselves in that position, just like we left Old Trafford to decay. We've left ourselves in a position where now we need 6 or 7 players, at least. Now, many people come at you and say, well, Man United have never signed 6 or 7 players because Man United have never been in this position before, right? They've never been in this position before. We are in the Champions League next season. Right now, as we stand, my prediction, we've got 1 midfielder. 1. Mainu. That's it. Right? So this is where we stand right now. I don't think Ugarte's staying at Man United. I think Ugarte will leave. Ugarte's unhappy. Ugarte's family want to leave. His wife wants to leave. They all want to leave. Right? So he's not going to stay at Man United. Whether he goes on loan or whether we sell him, he's not going to stay at Man United. So as we stand, well, we've got Mainu and probably Collier. Or are we going to bring Jim Freites through the ranks? Yeah. So, like, at the end of the day, things need to start moving, don't they? They need to start moving quickly, I would say. Yeah. We need to start moving quickly. We need to stop this. Yeah, you know what I mean? This mediocre, lackadaisical transfer window. You know what I mean? Because we need to move quickly. Absolutely. Yeah. 41 minutes gone, guys. 0-0 in both games. Czechia 0, Mexico 0, South Africa 0, South Korea 0, guys, in these both games. In this last penultimate game in this group, guys. The penultimate group in Group A. The penultimate. So basically, this is the first game of the third place, of the third game. So this is the first group of the third game. Shot way wide. It's the first game of the last game, basically, the third game. So there we go. So, yeah, as we stand where we are right now, if the game's all ended now, all right, Mexico will be on 7 points. Korea will be on 4 points. Czechia will be on 2 points. South Africa will be on 2 points. Czechia will come third. South Africa come fourth. But third and fourth, they'll be both going out because 2 points is not enough as the best third place team. So they'll both be going out. So really and truly, Czechia need to win and South Africa need to win. South Korea will be happy with a draw. They'll be going through on second place. So I think it'll be working out for them. It's a little bit unfortunate because some teams will go out with 4 points. Some teams will go through with 4 points. You know what I mean? It's a bit like that at the moment. But I am impressed with South Africa so far, the way they're playing. They're playing better than they have been the last couple of games, of course. Shot, again. The thing is, what I'm worried about South Africa is these counterattacks from South Korea. South Korea are just absolute quick. They got an engine, you know, and then if they're not careful, they will lose. Absolutely. Senator Barnes, you know, Senator Barnes, Hassan, that we mentioned him before anyone knew who he was. Anyone. People were actually coming to me when we mentioned Senator Barnes on this channel saying, who the hell is that player? Why are you talking about players that are not proven? Right? It was that time, right? Greg probably was here. I can't remember, but many people in the community were here. And we were saying, I told people back then, I said to people back then that Senator Barnes is going to be a goalkeeper for Man United for the next 10 years. This is what I said. People are laughing at me. People say, no, we want Emi Martinez. We need Emi Martinez. We need Emi Martinez. I said, no. He's a good goalkeeper. But we need Senator Barnes. He's the goalkeeper for Man United. And lo and behold, guys. It's almost like we don't talk rubbish, isn't it? 780 million for Yildiz. Not if we give them Xerxes. If we give them Xerxes and 50 million, probably enough, I think. Probably they'll do that. I would do that deal for me. I'll do that. I think Kenan Yildiz is a fantastic player. I really do. I would 100% do that deal, yeah. He's an attacking midfielder and a winger, so he could play even up front. When he was playing for Juventus Generation, which is the youth team of Juventus, he was playing left. He could play left, inside left. He could play the attacking midfield position as well. He's also been known to play up front. Very versatile. Yeah, guys, yeah. Like in a few months' time, people are going to be talking about a player named Francesco Camada. You heard it here first, guys. I spoke about Francesco Camada about a year and a half ago, right? When he was playing for the AC Milan youth team. He went on loan to Lecce, right? But then now I said, Francesco Camada. I said it over and over again. He's got 2 caps for Italy now. You know, And I said that a year and a half ago, I got a video about it. And I was saying, we got to look out for Francesco Kamada. This guy is an absolute beast when it comes to striker. You know what I mean? Absolutely, you know. Big up MC Jack, South Africa. What up, my friend? Hope you're doing well. South Africa win. South Africa playing well. I'll be honest with you, Jack. They're playing very well. I'm surprised. Korea obviously only need a draw. So obviously that could be working mentally with Korea as well. So Korea only need a draw. Korea have 4 points if they draw. South Africa and Czechia, if they draw, they have 2 points. So Czechia need to win because 2 points is not going to get you through. And South Africa need to win. That's why it's exciting. Of course, a draw is not good enough for Czechia or South Africa. It's good enough for Mexico. It's good enough for South Korea. That's how we are. It's where we stand right now. Emi Martinez, Oscar winning fraud, killed Hassan. I'll tell you one thing. I had people on this channel coming to me, right, and telling me, you don't know what you're talking about. We need to get Emi Martinez. You know, you want to get a young up-and-coming goalkeeper to play in the Premier League. I said, look, Senny Lamans is not a young up-and-goalkeeper. He is the next big thing. Yeah, I mean, he's the Schmeichel. He's the Courtois. He's the Czech. Remember when Chelsea signed Petr Cech? You remember all those years ago? No one knew really who Petr Cech was. Ended up becoming the best goalkeeper in Chelsea history, right? Same with Courtois, right? You know, at the end of the day, the good, you know, Man United didn't need an Emi Martinez. Man United needed a Senny Lamans, someone who can install calmness and authority. I mean, remember the Onana days? Every time we go into a game, right, it'd be like, yeah, the game's going well, but we're always scared that Onana's going to make a mistake. Onana's going to have a bozo moment and things like that. You remember? And then lo and behold, every now and then he would have a mistake in him. And, you know, things would be going all well and swimmingly, and then he would let the ball slip through his hands. And he cost us Champions League, man, that guy, twice. I mean, I remember the Galatasaray game and, you know, oh, good. But yet there were still people backing Onana. Oh, it's not Onana's fault. Onana cost us 20 points in the Amorim season. Onana cost us 20 points. 20 points minimum. And that's not including all the mistakes that he wasn't blamed for, which he should have been. 20 points. Bafana, Dylan, big up yourself. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. Still, we step ahead of Korea. We just need a goal. Dylan, yes. The thing is, you have to win. You have to win. Otherwise, it's sayonara Tara, mate. It's Bafana, sayonara Tara. Absolutely. You need to win this one. Yeah, and it's 0-0 at the moment. There is plenty of time. You've got 4 minutes of injury time in this half, and there is plenty of time. It is still 0-0 between Czechia and Mexico in Group A as well. And Mexico, of course, need a draw as well. Czechia need to win too. It's very difficult up there. It's very difficult in this group. But one thing I would say is that, yeah, look, it's very similar. Both teams have 4 minutes of injury time. But South Korea are dangerous if you don't score. Hussein, the problem is the Glazers weren't investing properly in the club. Ineos come in, promising to fix things. They can't. Keep using that as an excuse not to overpay, rebuilding. Exactly, Gassan. Yet, Hussein, my bro, yet there people are still out there making excuses for them. Still, to this day, making excuses for them. You know, I don't like to come on my channel every morning, right, and be negative and talk about, you know, things that are bad at the football club. I want to come onto my channel and talk about positive things, right? And talk about how we're going to smash the league next season and things like that. People don't understand this. The difference with this channel, we are very honest. We will call it as it is, good and bad, right? We won't gaslight you into believing something like other channels do. They gaslight you into believing in Ineos. They say that Ineos have done a good job. And be careful of those people, because some of them might be on the payroll. So you've got to be careful, right? And like I said on this channel, I've been offered substantial amounts to keep my mouth shut about things, you know? So at the end of the day, people who come on there say that Ineos have done a good job and come on their channel and say Ineos, I asked them the question, how have they done a good job? Please explain to me, right? I will give you 100 things they've done badly for your 2 things they've done good. And that's the thing. Do you know what I mean? So I don't understand. Half-time, guys, in both games. It is half-time in both games. It is 0-0 in both games. We haven't got 1 goal. It's 0-0 in both games, guys. As we stand, South Africa and Czechia will be going out in the World Cup. Mexico and South Korea are going through to the next round of the World Cup. Here in Monterrey, Mexico. Beautiful stadium, looking at Mount Everest. Here in Monterrey, Mexico. Lovely stadium. Yeah, so yeah, look, they have to win. They have to win. Both teams have to win. South Africa and Czechia need to win. He who dares wins. He or she dares wins. That's what life is about. If they draw, they're out. They're not good enough for third place. Whoever comes third, it's not good enough. 2 points won't get you through. I'm telling you that right now. 2 points won't get you through. 3 points will get you through. Maybe. Even Scotland are panicking now. They could be out. Yeah, but it's 0-0 in both games. Carabao Cup draw tomorrow. We're not in it, are we? MEC Jack? Because we're in the Champions League, so we won't enter till later, will we? Yeah, we're not in it. Thank goodness. You remember last year? Yeah, we're not in it, so I don't think we need to worry too much about that, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so yeah, it is Carabao Cup draw though tomorrow. Greg, May and June last year, you were talking about Saint Le Mans and an excellent young Belgian Cougar as less expensive alternative to my team, and I was slandered, Greg. People are coming at me telling me you don't know what you're talking about. We shouldn't be getting a young goalkeeper who's inexperienced. I said this guy's got an adult head on a young body. That's what I said. That was my words. An adult head on a young body. I was even talking about him before that, a year before that. I said there's a young goalkeeper coming through the ranks, a Belgian young goalkeeper. And, people weren't interested. I said the same about Patrick Dorgu as well. Look, sometimes I go out my way to find out things. I'm in Italy a lot and stuff, and I'll find out things and stuff like that, and from agents and things like that. So, I do my scouting work. Hassan, 20 points. How did you guys feel? It's like Arsenal with Fabianski. Yeah. We did put up with him because you know what it is, Hassan, because our fan base, a majority of our fan base, some of them are very sympathetic. And as we know, in regards to sympathy, it doesn't work in football. Football's ruthless. It's a ruthless game. You can sink or swim. Unfortunately, there's many of us, and this is why you still get people back in Ineos and the Glazers, still to this very day, unbelievably, right? People back Mason Mount. Mason Mount doesn't play football, but Mason Mount's basically Madame Tussauds to see. Doesn't play. So yeah, look. Yeah. Just seeing the highlights of the Scotland game. I'm just having a look at this. What's wrong with the mistakes these days in regards to these football teams? I mean, look at that Scotland opening goal. That is just really ruined their vibe, wasn't it? Really bad mistake. I've seen the same mistake a couple of times now. Yeah, lower league teams. Thank goodness we're not in it, and that's what I care about. We're not in the League Cup draw. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. We're not in the League Cup draw. Big up, Tim. What's going on? I'm with you with our support to the club, mate. But I've complained almost a decade about the club overpaying for average players. I can't complain about them doing the opposite. I can't complain about them doing the opposite. No, because Mateus Fernandes is not average, mate. He's actually going to be a world-class elite player. And I've said this about Saint Le Mans, and I'll say this about Patrick Dorgu. They're actually going to be elite players. In life, you snooze, you lose. I've analysed the market. I've analysed the talent. I've analysed Mateus Fernandes, just like I did with Saint Le Mans, and people will vouch for me on here. And Mateus Fernandes is going to be the next Vitinha, right? And we are going to miss out on him. Many people would have approached you when before PSG signed Vitinha. Didn't he come from Wolverhampton Wanderers, right? That he's not good enough. He's average. Why are we going after this player? Da da da. This player is good, mate. I don't want to sugarcoat it. The problem is overpaying for Tut, like Anthony. I called that one out before it happened. Overpaying for that sort of thing. Yes, overpaying for Maguire. I called that out before it happened. You can tell that from a mile away. But I can also tell from a mile away who's a good player and tell you right now who's a good player. Oh, Bawadi's a good player. You can tell right now, dominating the midfield against Brazil. You got Mateus Fernandes, and a shining light in a poor season for West Ham at his age, by the way. And if you watch Wolverhampton Wanderers against West Ham only a few months ago now, he schooled João Gomez, right? And then you look at, look, this is the thing about football. You have to look at context, right? And I don't want them to overspend, right? Of course I don't. But at the end of the day, these days, you're going to have to pay for what you got. Otherwise, we're going to end up with flipping Eric Dyer, mate. That's what I'm talking about, you know? Because football these days, 100 million is the 50 million of 10 years ago. So you're going to have to pay. I can tell them right now who the good players are, who the bad players are, who's worth paying for, who's not worth paying for, if they want me to. Because I know more than Ineos in regards to talent. They don't know anything about footballers, about football players. I spend my life looking at footballers, how good they are, how bad they are, how much they're worth. I spend ages. Like, Jim Ratcliffe doesn't have a Scooby-Doo about Manchester United. He doesn't have a Scooby-Doo about what good player is. Neither does Wilcox. Right? Oh, right, they signed Aidan Heaven because Aidan Heaven was one of the most rated young players. Everyone knew about him. I knew about him. Everyone knew about him. Right? I knew about Bawadi, and people vouched for this channel a year ago. I was talking about him a year ago. You know, and next it's going to be Keith Schmidt. Then it's going to be Syed El Mala and all these players. And then it's going to be Nathan Decat. And what you do, if you're clever, you make the move before anyone else does. And you get it for cheaper. And that's it. When Mateus Fernandes was playing for Southampton, everyone knew he was a good player. Everyone knew he was a good player. Right? And we didn't make the move. We could have done. We were linked to him. We didn't make the move. Everywhere he has gone, he's impressed. You know, he's been in the Premier League a long time now for his age. And look, at the end of the day, they are not penny. They are the thing with them. Everything for them is expensive. Everything. Right? No matter who it is, it's expensive. We can't afford it. It's expensive. Can't afford it. All right, then just fall further behind Man City and Arsenal, Liverpool. Arsenal spend 100 million on Declan Rice. Do you think they regret that? Of course they don't. Otherwise, they wouldn't have won the league. You know? That's the thing. Sometimes you have to spend. Alex Ferguson did it. Wayne Rooney, when we signed Wayne Rooney was 30, 40 odd million back then. That is the 100 million of today. Many people said to me, he's too young. You're getting him too early. He's too young. You know? Same with Rio Ferdinand, 35 million. Back in them days, that's the 100 million of back in 2002. That's 100 million of today. Many people told me back then, nah, why are you spending that much money on a defender, a Leeds United defender? Why are you doing that? I've been watching Man United for 40 years. I know who's a Man United player. I know. And Anderson is a Man United player. Mateus Fernandes is a Man United player. Tonali is a Man United player. Tchouameni is a Man United player. I'll tell you that right now. Another one is Angelo Stiller. He's a Man United player. No, and let me tell you this little example, this old chestnut. You know, in regards to Stiller, in regards to Ayo Bioldi or Keith Schmidt, right now as we stand, Stiller's a German international, right? And he's cheaper as we stand. Why are we not making a move for him? Because we don't bloody want to spend money. That's exactly that. I don't want to hear it. We can sit here and act like accountants. I don't give a damn about the money. I care about Man United being successful, right? And all this talk about, you know, this money, that money, we're not paying for that, we're walking away. Walk away from everyone then. Just bloody play Jim Thwaites and Collier next season. Why don't we just do that? And Mainu. Why don't we just do that? You know what I mean? These players, Fernandes, Scott and Walton, are good enough, and they'll be in Man United's lineup. Just as I said about Lelemans for 10 years. For 10 years. Let me tell you that right now. 10 years. Fernandes will be a Portuguese international. He should be right now. If he was playing for Man United, he would be. And Scott and Walton are underrated because they're English and people just want to throw smoke over them. You know, Scott contributed to Bournemouth, who was their best player at Bournemouth. And Bournemouth got in the Europa League. Bournemouth. Because of Scott. Walton has just won a European trophy with Crystal Palace. Did you see him in the final against Freiburg? We're hyping up Manzambi and all that. Walton dominated that game. They're good enough, mate. But then again, they're not going to cost 100 million. They're going to cost 60, 70 million. You can get them for cash. The problem with Man United is not just about cash. It's not how much we pay. It's how we want to pay. So we want to pay in installments. We're going to do this. Let's not make excuses for them, Tim. Because that's what we're doing. These players are good players, very good players. And let me tell you that. I watch a lot of football. I've been watching my whole life. I work in football. Walton, Fernandes, Scott are all very good players. They're not tier 1. Fernandez and Scott and Wharton are tier 2. Edison is not even in a tier. Right? He's only, look, listen, let me tell you, nobody was talking about Edison a year ago. Right? I'll tell you right now, it's connecting to Italian football. Right? We got him because he's cheap and easy. That's why we got him. All right? Cheap and easy. That's it. Is that how we were going to go? Cheap and easy, FC, you know? I'm annoyed about the possibility that our cheapskate owners replace our Old Trafford, which is a monumental. And this is the problem with some people. We're celebrating land. We're celebrating land, you know? That's what we're here, celebrating land, you know? And we bought a bit of land. Oh my goodness me. We bought a bit of land. You know, this is the problem in our fan base. It's a problem, you know? Ineos have done 95% things wrong in this football club at the moment, and they are not good enough for this football club, right? And no matter what you say, I thought we had the kings of negotiations as well. I thought we had the best in class of negotiators and things like that. We certainly don't, do we, guys? I want to see Manchester United come to Vale Park, their dream come true. Hassan, Dorgu's a young lad. Dorgu would become the new Gareth Bale, mate. Let me tell you that right now. He's a young lad. Did you see him hit one top bins against Arsenal? He's been excellent. Excellent. And the fact that Dorgu's played in right midfield, left midfield, up front, back, front, everywhere, that shows you his talent. He's only a young lad as well. Was he 20 odd? Was he how old? 20? Very good player, man. Watch. Hassan, the most that makes me angry is the coping. Everyone wanted Fernandez, but now that maybe he's joining Spurs, suddenly he isn't good enough. Exactly. 80 minutes too much. Funny how quickly narrative changes. Exactly there. This is the whole Glazonomic Ineos thing. Glinios thing. This is what it is. This is what it is. We're not getting him. Let's make an excuse for Ineos. He's not good enough. Oh, did you see his XGs? Did you see his passes and his this and this? All these excuses under the sun. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. We're going to get embarrassed by Spurs. Spurs are in debt. Spurs have got a stadium, new stadium. They're paying for that, by the way. You know what I mean? We're going to get embarrassed by Spurs. We're going to get embarrassed by Manchester City this summer. And what we're going to do? Just make excuses. Let's make excuses for them again. They're not paying a lot of money for them. They're not. I mean, it's crazy. Look, at the end of the day. In defense of Maguire, defensively, he's actually one of the better United signings in the last 12. But I agree that, I mean, 80 million, though, is too much. 80 million was too much for Maguire. Yeah. He's a 50 million pound player, but actually, I like him as well. But he has his limitations. He's very bad at the cross ball. If you know, when you cut it back, he's very slow to react. And many teams, we had a lot of cutback goals against us and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So, obviously. Which is bad. In defense, yeah, sorry about that. Hussein, feel bad for Carrick. They see him as a full stream that will get, yeah, they send him a full stream. His only chance is Bruno provides. It's the problem, isn't it? I don't want to hear any excuses next season. I don't want to hear any backing of Glazers and Ineos. If they foul in this transfer market, I don't want to hear any people gaslighting us into believing that they've done a good summer, because they had a 4 out of 10 summer last year, didn't they? At the end of the day, you know. Anyway, we're ready to start the second half, guys. 0-0 in both games. Czechia 0, Mexico 0, South Africa 0, South Korea 0. Of course, that's the scores at the moment. We're ready to start the second half. We're ready to go here in Monterrey, Mexico. Yeah. And just to reclarify, South Africa and Czech Republic, Czechia, need to win. Have to win. They cannot get a draw. Otherwise, 2 points will get them out of the competition. South Korea and Mexico Mexico are through. South Korea need to draw. That's it, and they'll go through second place as we stand. So they'll be happy with that. Yeah. So the longer the game goes on, the more that South Africa have to take chances, and the more that the likelihood that South Korea could counter them and end up losing. Greg, the Glazers are all my missus, and Misa is a person who holds wealth and spends as little as possible. One thing I've learned about these type of billionaires is that one thing about billionaires, they'll always tell you they're broke. You know that? And these type of billionaires, what they do is they will always tell you they're broke. They'll always say they've got no money to manipulate you into thinking they're broke. This is what they do. They'll never say, oh, we've got a lot of money, we're comfortable, we've got some money to spend, blah, 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 blah. You know? They'll never do that. They always say, we got no money, we're broke. You know, and this is exactly what this ownership does. We got no money, we're broke. Yeah, all right. Then why did you take charge of the football club? Why didn't you just step aside and let someone with actual money get charge of the football club? You know? I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Anyway, we're underway, guys, in both games. It's 0-0 in both games, all to play for still. We are where we started. What do you think about the Ineos and the Glazer clause that it will activate on February 2000? I don't believe in any clauses. I don't talk about any, we're going to buy the club then, we're going to do this then. I don't care, because we were promised, let's not forget, that Ineos are going to buy the club in 2026. Do you remember that? I said, they're lying to you. I said, they're lying. They've lied so many times. Didn't they say, wasn't it out of Jim Ratcliffe's mouth? He said, Sheikh Jassim Hamid doesn't exist. He's a fake. But then, lo and behold, we saw Sheikh Jassim Hamid at the World Cup Championship final. What was he, a mirage? What was he? What was it? You know, they're liars, man. They're liars. And they've been lying through their teeth since the time they took charge. Since the time Jim Ratcliffe said he's a Man United fan, he is not a Man United fan. Let me tell you that right now. He's got a Chelsea season ticket holder. He tried to buy Chelsea before Man United. He's got no evidence before the takeover process of him actually being at Old Trafford. No evidence to suggest that he is a Man United fan. No photos, no backlog. And remember, you can find everything on the internet. You know, so this is the thing. He's a liar and a manipulator. So little lies divide. Like, you know, little lies is just like, people tell lots of little lies are going to tell big lies. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he lied a lot because of this vanity project. He wants this stadium, not because it's going to make Man United attractive. It's because he's going to rubber stamp his name all over the stadium. And that's what he's going to do, you know? And it's a vanity. Never feel sorry for someone that owns a private jet. Exactly. When there's poor people and people making dinner ladies unemployed, you know? Saving 20 grand a year. People on mortgages and things like that. And people celebrate this nonsense. Absolutely. It's unbelievable. Look, you know? Yeah. You can say it. You can. Sorry, guys, I'm back. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's still 0-0. Nothing has changed. As we stand, Korea will go through alongside Mexico, and Czechia and South Africa will be out of the World Cup. You know what? You only get a chance every 4 years, you know. You only get a chance. I don't understand this. I don't understand this narrative that people are like, you know, going into this World Cup so calm. You know what I mean? Hussein, brother, how the government allowed the Glazers to put the debt in the club in 2005? Exactly. It's not allowed now. It's actually illegal. What I don't understand in regards to that, Hussein, right? I don't understand how there's no retrospective action in regards to this. Let me tell you, let me explain, right? Because why don't they go back and say the way that the Glazers purchased the club was illegal and it shouldn't be allowed? For example, if something sinister happened 20 years ago in regards to, I'm not going to say it, but you know, if you did something to someone 20 years ago, would you not, if you were found guilty today, would you not go to prison? It's true, right? You go to prison, right? So why are they not doing retrospective action in regards to the Glazers and say to the Glazers, you have to sell the football club. You purchased a club on 500 million. You have not paid a penny of capital on that loan. In fact, United are now 1 billion in debt. You have to sell the football club now. You have to sell the football club now. I don't understand why this is. If they were Russian, if they were Arab, if they were wherever they are in the world, they would have enforced them to sell the football club. 100%. I'm telling you right now. It's because who they are, where they're from, is that they allowed them to carry on. You know, this is the whole thing about it. This is the thing, and this is affecting our football club. We did not need the Glazers. We did not need them. We were filthy rich. We were swimming in money. We could go out there and spend 300 million on anyone we wanted. Any player we wanted, we could get anyone we wanted. Chance for South Africa. Chance. Good chance. Oh, it's a good block from South Korea. Big chance there. Yeah, we could have went out there and got anyone we wanted. Yeah, here we are. You know? So Jim spends 20K flying over to France. Yeah, you know, Gregory, I used to work for a corporate company. It's called Chubb now. I don't know if you heard of it. It used to be called Ace Insurance. I used to work for them from around 2005-ish, in between that and onwards. And there was a guy there named Evan Greenberg, right? Evan Greenberg, big businessman, right? And he used to fly from New York to London, and he used to pay 100 grand. 100 grand. People used to tell me, like, they used to come up to me and they say, did you know he spent 100 grand in flying over from New York to London? It's a disgrace, isn't it? It really is. It really is a disgrace. It really is. It's disappointing. Greg, it depends on upon the state of limitations. Lesser crimes have shorter time periods to be prosecuted. However, has no expectation of prosecution. Prosecution should not be discriminatory to what the prosecution is. It should be the same. If something's illegal now, it should be retrospective that it's illegal. And no, we're not going to say to get out of the country. You can't. No. What has to be done is they have to be forced to sell the football club. What has to be done is an analysis. Right? If they cleared the debt and Man United were running perfectly well, right? Fine. That's fine. But they need to have an analysis right now. What is going on with one of the cultural institutions of England, of the UK, of the world, one of the biggest football clubs in the world? They should actually be listed. The building Old Trafford should be listed, right? It should not be able to be touched. One of the biggest clubs in the world. What is the situation here? We're actually 1.5 billion in debt. Sell the football club. You have to sell the football club now. Legally, sell the football club. It should be illegal for what they're doing to this football club now, right now. Milking money from the football club, getting more money out of the football club. Whenever they want more money, they remortgage the football club. They get more money out of it, and they put it on what they want into their pockets, on their bloody parties and stuff like that, whatever they do, and their yachts and their other baseball teams and cricket teams and whatever they want. It's a disgrace, man. It's a disgrace what they're doing. Absolute disgrace, utter greed, greasy, horrible, fat, nasty people. You know what I mean? And they've been at our football club for 20 odd years. Here comes South Africa. Hassan, I have my own problems with the Glazers, their political alliance. I do as well, mate. Obviously, I know the problems and stuff like that. Listen, I live in the Middle East now, Hassan, and I know all about them, right? And it's disgusting. Anyone associated with that, I don't want anywhere near the football club. But it's funny, isn't it, how narratives work, isn't it? It's funny, right? It's funny that everything's okay when people look like them. You know, and it's the thing. My younger United fan actually calls them out on a regular basis more than he used to cuss the Cronkies. Well, fair play to your younger brother. Well done, your younger brother, I would say. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we've got some United fans who don't. Big United fans. You know what I mean? But United fans have been there for years and years and years. Been going to Man United for 60 years. They don't call him out. You got a channel on Sky, right? You know, Webby and O'Neill. All day long, they're gaslighting you. Right? They're meant to be these elite football fans of Man United, and they're talking about gaslighting you into thinking that Ineos are this, they got no money, you got to feel sorry for them, they've done a good job. And that, guys, I will call it as it is. I will always do that. Do you know what I mean? And they are harming the football club. United Financial can battle peak Madrid if the debt weren't there. Man United can battle anyone. Back in the day, yeah, Hussein. They could battle anyone. I will tell you that right now. Man. 1-0 to Mexico. 1-0. Mexico have scored, guys. Mexico are 1-0 up. Czechia in deep problems, guys. Mexico have scored 1-0 to Mexico. Already, guys, in the second half has started. It's 1-0 to Mexico. Unbelievable. Mexico have scored, and Czechia in a big problem now. Chavez has got the goal for Mexico. They are 1-0 up. Guys, Chavez, guys, 1-0 to Mexico. Unbelievable. Here, well, it is believable that Czechia will be going out the tournament. That's what's going to happen right now. They will be bottom of the group as we speak. Guys, as we speak, they will be bottom of the group. Goal for Mateo Chavez. Mateo Chavez is the left back who plays for Mexico, and AZ Alkmaar in Holland. They are 1-0 up. 22-year-old, talented 22-year-old who, if Man United need a left back, look at Mateo Chavez there. He's only 22 and he's got money. There you go, guys. Absolutely. Chavez has scored for Mexico. There you go. And as we speak, Czechia are bottom of the group. And South Africa are third from bottom. The goal, he ran from his own half, smashed it in with his left foot into the corner. Unbelievable goal. Euphoria for Mexico. Absolutely brilliant. 1-0. Czech Republic 0. Mexico 1. There you go, guys. Mexico are top in the group as we speak. Guys, smashing it today. Smashing it this season, this World Cup. And in this game, it's still 0-0. Though the Cronkies deserve the same, if not worse, for their recent political alliances. So, yeah, anyone who's connected to that side of things or saying, it's nasty. It's nasty. It's nasty, mate. It's nasty. You know? Unbelievable. Like that, you know, Man United, the football club we are, a historical club we are, the players that have played for us, that we're owned by such disgusting, horrible, nasty, sinister monsters, basically. You know what I mean? And anyone associated with them, you know, who they're associated with. You know, this is what I said. You're affiliated to the enemy. If you're affiliated to sinister people, you are a sinister person, right? Here comes South Korea. Chance. Oh, you are a sinister person, right? Those people back in Ineos. Ineos facilitated the Glazers. They went to bed with the Glazers. They were the Glazers' mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. They were the Glazers' life support machine. They are accomplice to them. So they are associated with them. So they are associated with everything they are associated with as well. It's like a chain reaction. Do you associate yourself with the enemy? Exactly that. And I'll say the same about content creators. And people get upset about it. But I'll say the same about content creators. Content creators living up the backside. They are accomplices to the Glazers. Because it's like a chain reaction, isn't it? It's like it goes all the way down like a family tree. You're backing every single one of them. And you're affiliated to what they are. You know what I mean? You are them. You're a representation of them. Right? You're in the family line. That's basically what you are. Not because you're backing them and gaslighting them and making excuses for them. You know what I mean? Big up, Greg. No worries. Listed like heritage site. Yeah. Yeah, like a heritage site. So basically, there are some buildings in England you cannot touch. It's illegal. You cannot touch, right? There's a few I know. I used to live next to one. There used to be a castle in a place in Surrey, in London, in England. Not in London, in England. I used to live in a place called Dorking in Surrey for about 3 years. right? And it was not far from a basically a mansion. There was a mansion there, right? Beautiful mansion. It was basically a haunted mansion. It was haunted. They converted it into a insurance company, right? And I said to them, I said, why don't they refurbish it a little bit? Because there was half of it which was like really old, right? Honestly, there was like this stairwell that went up and stuff like that. And they said to me, it's a listed building, you can't touch it. So basically, a listed building means the Queen, that it's owned by the government, it's owned by the Queen, right? And you can't touch it. It's a heritage site, exactly that. So that is what Man United should be. Man United in World War II were bombed by in World War II. The stadium was bombed and it regenerated. The historical value in Old Trafford is unmatched, right? This is why Real Madrid, Barcelona do not move away. Head out save from South Korea. Do not move away from their stadium because of the historical heritage of that stadium. That stadium, you cannot buy the history. You cannot buy the fact that Sir Matt Busby, Bobby Charlton, George Best, Duncan Edwards have played on that turf, have played in that stadium. You cannot just delete that. When we go to a new stadium, right, guys, we are ground zero, right? We are ground zero. We're starting again. We're no different to Southampton. We're zero because that stadium is zero. It's nothing there. There's no historical element surrounding that stadium anymore, right? That's it. It's gone, right? Now, you ask Arsenal become successful, obviously, this last recent years. Obviously, they won the league. But you ask them, when they moved into the Emirates, how they were suffering for a decade, right, to pay off that stadium. A decade. Now, Man United are talking about saving money already. They're talking about saving money already, right? Let alone if they have a new stadium. You know? It should be a national historic preservation. Exactly, Gregory. It should be. It should be. I mean, we got some buildings that you wouldn't even heard of that are. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm talking about. It should be untouchable. Man United play at Old Trafford. If they want to improve Old Trafford, make Old Trafford better, then yes. But moving away and knocking down Old Trafford, no. You know, no. It's and then people that's so blasé about it. You know, someone came on this channel the other day, right? And said, I understand the history and all that jazz. I've never heard something so disrespectful in my life. In my life. I went to, what do you mean all that jazz? What the hell do you mean by all that jazz? Substitution for South Africa. Polis is coming off, guys. Marimi is coming on for South Africa. 2-0 to Mexico. 2-0 to Mexico, guys. Mexico 2, Czechia 0. It's game over for Czechia here, guys. It's game over for Czechia. 2-0 to Mexico. Mexico are going to top the group, and Czechia are out of this tournament, guys. Barring a miracle, they are out of this tournament. Goodbye, Czechia. Here comes South Africa. Chance. Goal for South Africa. It's a goal for South Africa. Can you believe it? They've scored. It's a goal for South Africa. 1-0. Goal for South Africa. Bafana. They're going through the next round. South Korea, as we stand, could be going out of the World Cup. South Africa have scored, and it's 1-0 to South Africa. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. Czechia are going out. South Africa are going through. Maybe, as we speak, guys. Dependent on everything else, guys. 1-0 to South Africa. There you go. Some may say deserved. I do agree. They've been the only team that's been attacking in this game so far. The only team that wanted it was South Africa. And there's, as we stand, South Africa are going through second place in Group A. As we stand, guys, 1-0 to South Africa. South Korea will be in third place, sweating on the results of other teams in third place. Czechia will be going out, guys. 2-0 to Mexico, 1-0 to South Africa. Unbelievable. There you go, guys. Korea have it all to do now. They have it all to do. Yeah, they'll be going out. This is what I'm talking about. I've been saying this from the beginning, guys. You have to play positive football. Don't wait on teams. Don't play for a draw, right? You could be cautious. You could do this. You could do that. But don't be overly cautious. You have to go out there and you have to try and win, guys. Absolutely. And that's what I would say about that. Unbelievable. Come on, Bafana, Bafana. There you go. Quinton Fortune is off his chair here. Big up. Big up the Mark Fish. Come on. There you go. Big up South Africa. They played very positive football in this game today. They've been unbelievable. They should have been 2-0 up. They played very well. Now South Korea have to now they have to look at it and think, oh, now what are we gonna do? Oh, now you're gonna have to change your mentality, bruv. You're gonna have to go out there and try and play some ball rather than trying to defend for a bloody draw. You know what I mean? 1-0, Mexico, 2-0. Vamos, Mexico. Absolutely, Mexico going for. AZ Alkmaar acquired Mateo Church a year ago. They won't sell him. Why not, Greg? Well, you think AZ Alkmaar are this unbelievable football club that they signed a player a year ago? What does that mean? So what? They signed him a year ago. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean anything. I get it. It's why I'm not a gooner anymore. I just can't deal with it. Just watching the back goal. Yeah, it was a really scruffy goal for Mexico against Czechia. By the way, that goal was really messy, really messy. Anyway, I took it with Elney and also the sleeve sponsorship, the sleeve sponsorship is a disgrace, Hassan. I agree, mate. The thing is that Arsenal can't be saved. And in regards to that, they're already part of it, right? And Man United can. And the thing is that we just have to get them out of the football club. You know, it's funny how narratives work, though, isn't it? It's funny how things get swept under the carpet at the end of the day, you know? They have no shame accepting to be face of the club, to be covered. Absolutely, mate. Sorry, nice. My maternal uncle took me when I was a teenager. Quite serene. It's a very nice place. If you go to Surrey, you go to Dorking, Leatherhead, and Box Hills and things like that. It's a beautiful place. Guildford, lovely places. I'm not talking about the part of Surrey. You have to go deep Surrey into there. So I lived in deep Surrey for about 3 years. I moved away from East London. I'm from East London originally, in Leytonstone. And I moved to Surrey for 3 years. And then obviously got married, moved in with my wife and stuff, and moved to various places. I lived in near London Bridge for about 2.5 years, basically a place right next to the Thames, and lived there. Then I moved here. In Abu Dhabi in Derby, mate. Abu Dhabi in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi in Abu Dhabi. Dylan, Golaxio, don't remind me from the cauldron of hybrids in Insignificant Emirates. Took a decade to win major. I used to like going to Figgy. Big up Hussam in the channel. Goal for South Africa. Big up, brother. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, brother. Good to see you. Goal for South Africa. Bafana. I love South Africa, man. Big up South Africa. Big up Irfan. Where's Irfan in the house, by the way? Irfan, where are you, mate? You talk a lot, but when it's time to come on and start bigging yourself up, you're not even here, bro. What's going on? I'm waiting for you. Big up Hussam. The legend of Hussam. Big up, Don. Goodbye, Korea. I know, man. I like Korea as well, by the way. I do like Korea as well. Big up. But you know what? This is what I've been saying, though, isn't it? I've been saying Korea came into this game with a mentality of we're going to get a draw and we're happy with a draw. And that's not what I don't like teams that are going like that. Go for the bloody win. Go for it. Believe in yourself. You're not playing Brazil here. You know what I mean? Like, go for it. But yeah, anyway, don't blame. No, South Africa on fire at the moment. Good morning, Daryl. Good morning. How you doing? Wow, that was a good Viva La Mexico. Big up Mexico. Love Mexico, of course, as well. The Mexican people, yes. So, was it a mistake for Bayern Munich to build the Alliance Arena 21 years ago, the previous home at Old Trafford? No. And let me tell you the difference between Bayern Munich and Manchester United. Bayern Munich played in an Olympic stadium. Right, it was like basically built for the Olympics. So there was a running track around the stadium. Okay, Bayern Munich play in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich sweep up all the talent. Now Bayern Munich, right, moved to the Alliance Arena. Right, any other club would have struggled. But the thing with Bayern Munich, they actually invest in their football team as well. They actually spend money on their football team. They actually bring in the best players, right? I wouldn't care as much if Ineos spent money on the football team properly. You know what I mean? Guys, you're going to see this next season when Frimpong, Kirkes, Florian Wirtz, Munoz, when Florian Wirtz, Frimpong and Kirkes have got a year under their belt in the Premier League and they're performing in the Premier League, and we're going to go, oh, well, you know what? No, we did this. We did it's because of this and it's because of that we didn't get these. No, I don't want to hear any excuses. Excuses for losers, man. Excuses are for losers. You know, it's embarrassing. You know, right now, as we stand in this very moment in history, we are worse than last season. No Casemiro next season, guys. We are worst. We're in the Champions League next season, and we've only got Mainu. Ugarte's leaving. And forget about it. Ugarte's like an invisible man anyway. When he plays, he's invisible. We don't see him. All we see is decline when he comes on the pitch. So, guys, we are in a bit of a pickle right now, right? And we need to get it sorted out. Absolutely. We got Don Hussam in the house, of course. Legend, of course. 5 of the big 6 owned by American billionaires. That says it all. That's a problem, isn't it? It's a problem. Scotland have lost 3-0, by the way, to Brazil, guys, today. And I want to just say little congratulations to Haiti. I thought Haiti have been very good in this tournament. However, brothers are doing it for themselves. Morocco, 4-2-1 win, guys. Morocco, the dark horses for this tournament. I said it before the tournament. They're an unbelievable football team. Unbelievable football team. And from start to finish, from the back to the front to the middle, they are a football team, mate. They've got a balance about them. I would worry if I played Morocco in the next round. I'll tell you that right now. They are a good football team. And Owa Bawadi, guys, is going to be one of the best midfielders in the world, guys, absolutely. Asad, East London. Yeah, I was on Green Street when I was a student. Desi Central. Yes. Yes. Green Street used to be the home of West Ham United. If you go to, obviously, Green Street, you go down Green Street to the end of Green Street towards Barking Road. West Ham United, Upton Park. And, used to be the Desi Central. Yeah, still is the Desi Central. What are you talking about, Hassan? Trust me, you want your jewelry, you want your bangles, you want anything like that, you go to Green Street, mate. You want your sari, you know what I mean? Go to Green Street, mate. My dad, obviously, you know, where he's from, you know, Hassan, my dad, you know, he used to take me there. You know, we go to Mobeen, get a kebab and stuff like that. Back in them days, you know what I mean? I used to work down the road from there. I used to do like pizzas. And I used to be meat and fish as well. So I used to do fish. £1 fish, £1 fish. Very, very nice. £1 fish. Very, very nice. £1 fish. Very, very nice. £1 fish. That's the Glazers and Ineos for you. Very, very nice. £1 centre back. That's what they want. Very, very nice. Very, very cheap. £1 centre back. Very, very nice. £1 fish. He actually made $1 million out of that song. You know that. My brother, Reds, Shaq Warner, he interviewed him on his channel. And he hydration break. Big up Hassan, the let Hassan. Of course. We are left with Mainu and Mount. Double M, mate. Eminem. What are you talking about? Yeah, Eminem. Big up Hassan. Very, very nice. £1 fish. Very, very nice. £1 fish. Succulent fish. £1. He's from there, guys. If you ever heard of, obviously, if you ever been down East London, if you ever go down there, right? You go down Green Street. If you want to see the real East London, guys, you go down Green Street. And yeah. Is it me or does this shirt make me look like a Bond villain? I don't know. I think the collar is a little bit higher. I look like a Bond villain. I think this is flirting on a turtleneck. Do you think it's flirting on a turtleneck? Very, very nice. £1 fish. Very, very nice. £1 fish. There you go. Big up everyone in the stream, guys. As we stand, Czechia 0, Mexico 2, South Africa 1, South Korea 0. As we stand, Czechia are out. South Korea will be on 3 points, sweating on other results. They'll be third. South Korea and Mexico will go through. Mexico will be top. South Africa will be second. South Africa will be going through to the next round on 4 points. There you go. Hey, Bondviden, maybe even a Timothy. Oh, there you go, mate. There you go. I just need a cat. I just need a cat. £6 and £5, £1 fish. Guys, I would urge you, right? If you've heard of my brother's name is Reds. He was a rapper for 20 years, right? He's now got a YouTube channel, Shaq Warner, Unchained. If you go and check that out, you see his interview with £1 Fishman. He also interviewed a couple of other people as well. Absolutely unbelievable. If you go down Green Street, don't buy fish. No, you buy fish down Green Street. You get a good bargain, mate. You go down there, mate. You get a good bargain. But if you want to go for real fish I can't believe we're talking about this. This is where this conversation goes. If you want to buy real fish in London, you go to Bishopsgate, right? You go to down there near Canary Wharf and stuff like that. You buy your proper fish. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I used to be a fishmonger. Yeah, I did. One of my jobs when I was younger, I used to be a fishmonger, mate. And I didn't have a car, mate. So I used to go home on a bus, right? And I'd be stinking of fish, mate. I had a reputation, man. You know what I mean? And listen, I used to go on a car and I'd be stinking of fish. And the problem with this fish, right, is that when you smell it a lot, you become immune, right? So I used to get the the Armani aftershave after my work, right? And I'd be like, that'd be fine. Fish and Armani doesn't smell like Armani. Let me tell you that. It smells more like Panani than Armani. But yeah, look, anyway, the less we say about the better. Anyway, guys. Billingsgate, that's one, Daryl. That's gone now, bro. Yeah, it's got. I haven't been back in England for years, but they did shoot The Gentleman down there. I know that because my friend was in The Gentleman, the film, the program. But I do know that they shoot a lot of movies there now. I do know that, of course. We got everyone in the house. 76 minutes gone. 1-0 to South Africa. It's going to be a nervous few minutes. The World Cup hinges on these very moments, guys. South Korea need to score. If South Africa score, it's going to be flipped to South Korea going through. So South Korea score, that's it. But South Africa score again. South Korea showing more of the sort of play that got them to the World Cup. You know what I mean? I've been disappointed with this one. But Mexico, my goodness me, Mexico. Anyone who plays Mexico, England could play Mexico in the quarterfinal. Big up Daryl, nearly Friday Eve, of course. Big up the Friday crew. Guys, just to let you know, I will be in Italy on the 4th. Why am I doing that? On the 4th of July, I'll be in Italy, guys. So I'll be doing the rest of the watch-alongs from Italy. Yes. I'll be there, live in the flesh. Yeah. Goodness me. I'll be there. And I'll be doing watch-alongs from there, from the remaining of the tournament. Yeah. It's been tough, man. Honestly, I'll be real with you guys. I've already done 30 or 35 watch-alongs, man. I didn't do the watch-alongs last night. I expected Brazil to beat Scotland. I expected Morocco to beat Haiti. Sal, right. The best fish in London is around Canary Wharf. Otherwise, take a trip to Liverpool. Cheap and tasty with an excellent full tank. Yeah. Fish and chips is nice up Liverpool and Manchester ways. If you go to Liverpool, Manchester ways, fish and chips is nice. It's actually proper fish and chips. If you ever go to Manchester or Liverpool, try the fried banana, not fried banana, fried. They do fried banana, but do fried Mars bar. So it's a chocolate, battered chocolate, right? It's not good for the cholesterol, but it's bloody unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness me, it is just unbelievable. Cho Gusung has got a yellow card for South Korea here. Panic stations. Today, guys, my wife is getting unhappy with me because I'm doing too many watch-alongs, so I can't do as many watch-alongs, guys. Apologies. Unless I want a divorce, and that's the thing, guys. Because at the end of the day, guys, look, you know, if it was just me on my own, me in my shed or something like that, I'll be sitting there doing watch-alongs all night, and my beard would be grey, and I'd be look like, you know, I'd be like I've been kidnapped or something. I'll be doing all the watch-alongs under the sun. Unfortunately, when you're a married man, you know, and you have responsibilities and a family, you have to think about, you know, the priorities. But it's been great. Yeah, my in-laws, man. I have to go to my in-laws every year. I have to go to my in-laws every year. I have to see my in-laws. Yeah, inshallah. But you know, it's good to see them. Always get welcomed very well. Love going to Italy. I do like going there. I do like there. I do like Italy. I like the food. You know, before I go to Italy, right, I have to lose about extra few kilos, right? Because I know I'm going to put it back on as soon as I go there. So I have to go back to go forward. You know what I mean? I have to go back to go forward. Daryl, batter Snickers is a better sell. I haven't tried the batter Snicker yet. You can't get it in the UAE. You can't get batter Snicker. They will think you're mad. But yeah, definitely. Next time, have you ever gone when you go to Man United game? If you go down, obviously you come off the tram, and you go towards the stadium, you pass the cricket ground, and you get all the stalls on the left and right. I don't know if the Lou Macari fish shop does it, but you get the stalls on the right and stuff like that. And if you go there, you can get yourself a battered whatever you want. Can I have a battered boot, please? They batter anything in Manchester. The only problem is it batters your bloody heart, doesn't it? And your lungs, and your arteries. Yeah. When I came to the UAE, right, you know, like in the fantastic thing about the Middle East, right, is that you can get seen, you can go to the hospital, you go doctors, and they'll see you just like that, right? Like this year has been difficult. I've had a tough year. Obviously, with my wife, she almost went, you know, because of her heart. And when these things happen, they get in perspective. But when I at the same time, I got tested myself, and you realize, bloody hell, my health is bad. Coming from London, when I first came here, when I first came here, it was like, they go, you're unhealthy, mate. Your arteries are blocked, your cholesterol is high, and da 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 da. And then I had to go on this next level exercise plan. Greg, right, probably didn't begin to cover your intense odor after work. It didn't. It did not. No, my mum and dad used to complain. It did not. It actually was ingrained in my skin, because I used to do meat and fish. I used to do mainly the fish, obviously, but you know the meat wasn't like halal, so I used to wear gloves and stuff. But the meat wasn't the problem. It was the fish, and I used to clear up the whole thing. I used to gut the fish and everything like that. And yeah, and you don't realize, right? I tell you, some people I've served some proper famous people. Here come, you remember Carroll used to play for West Ham? Him? Served him. He likes the jelly eels. Trevor Brooking. I served. Few actors I served as well. They love the fish. Yeah. Guys, I used to work hard when I still work hard, but I used to work very hard when I was younger. You know, I'm an artist, innit? You know, my dad didn't like the fact that I was doing art. So, I quit college and things like that. I got my degree in regards to business eventually, but late. But I'm an artist, so my dad didn't want me to do art. He goes, you're going to be selling paintings in Leicester Square. You know what I mean? And things like that. And I was like, ugh. Yeah. And as you do, become a fishmonger. Hassan, I remember fried Mars bars. Got them outside the train station in Manchester. Too sweet. Maybe want to puke. Probably too sweet for me now because I am. Look, listen. I do have a sweet tooth. I really do. I do have a. I'm sorry. I have a sweet tooth. You can see it. Look. Look, guys. Look, sweet wrappers everywhere. Look. I'm not joking, guys. You think I'm joking? Look at this. Look. This is the problem with this content creation, guys. You've got to be careful. Right in front of me, I've got a treadmill. As soon as I come off here, I've got to go on the treadmill. Otherwise, you know what I mean? I'm at that age now. I'm at that age. Still 2-0 to Mexico. Still 1-0 to South Africa, guys. South Africa are nerve-wracking. It's a nerve-wracking few minutes of the game, guys. It's nerve-wracking. Cross is going to come in from South Korea. Here, corner. Cross comes in. Header cleared by South Africa. Is that a foul? No. Yeah, proper cholesterol. Yeah, mate. You don't want to be going near that cholesterol thing, man. Honestly. There's something called HDL, right? Which basically counters cholesterol. So I worked in a hospital for 5.5 years, right? There's something called HDL. So basically, if you have low HDL, it's HDL. If you have low HDL, it's very bad because HDL counters cholesterol. So basically, for example, I run 5K a day, right? But I love my food and I love greasy foods. I love burgers. I love fries. I love sweets. I love all that, right? But I have a high HDL because I'm generally fit for my age, right? I don't smoke, I don't drink, but I like the food, right? And stuff like that. So generally, my HDL is high, but my cholesterol is high too, right? So my cholesterol is high. So if my HDL drops, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. So my HDL is high, but my cholesterol is high. So it can be hereditary as well. So it can run from the family as well. So that's the thing. Do you enjoy espresso in the afternoon? Naples, do you have? I love my cappuccino and I love my latte. The thing is, that's again cholesterol, isn't it? But I love my cappuccino, I love my latte. I don't drink espresso. My missus does, my wife does. I get up every morning to make my wife an espresso before she goes to work. So I like a latte or cappuccino. And the thing is, in Italy, they don't do latte. You can ask for a cappuccino, but you know those cups with the lids on them, the cappuccino cup, the latte cups and that, they don't do that. They put like a bit of foil over on top of it, and you have to dig a little hole in it. I tell my wife, I'm like, for goodness sake, can't they just give me a bloody lid? You know what I mean? Can't they just give me a bloody lid? Yeah, bro, fish oil gets their skin pores. Funny enough, when I was a fishmonger, I used to have the beautiful skin. I used to have beautiful skin when I was a fishmonger. Mashallah. I used to have beautiful skin. Government hospitals in the Middle East are amazing. You can enter without appointments, and medicals are free. You have to pay 50 dirham every time you go into the hospital. However, I'm covered by insurance, but you still have to pay 50 dirham when you go into the hospital. Even if you just see a doctor for anything, you have to pay 50 dirham. 50 dirham is about £10. Right, so yeah, you have to pay 50 dirham. And this year, that's why I love the Middle East. I love the people. And I will never turn my back on them because they looked after my wife. And my wife, she had a problem. One of a thingy in her chest, it burst the heart. And she came back from work and she was purple. This is only guys, it's only 2025. You know what I mean? This is the thing. I don't mention much on here. I don't talk much. But yeah, if it was literally minutes more, should I say, sorry, it would have been very, very bad. Like I said to her, you're not looking good. I've got to take you to the hospital. And I did. And they saw her straight away. What they did, obviously, they had ECG and stuff like that. But then we thought it was nothing. We thought it was nothing. Because she suffers from migraines anyway. This is the problem. But we thought it was nothing. Right, and then they said everyone was like, suddenly rush. I go, where are we going? They go, we'll go in the ambulance to the main hospital. And I said, oh my God, what's going on? go, yeah, like we need to look. It could be blood clot. It could be something else. Yeah. So it's you know what I mean? So life is not easy, bruv. And to be honest, I'm appreciated to the good people of the UAE for what they do and what they do to people, for people. If I was in London, mate, my own hometown of London, I would have said, oh, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. That's what they would have told me. Don't worry about it, you'll be fine. Yeah. Human rights, my backside, get out of here, human rights. When it's in your part-time human rights activist nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Straight away saw my wife like that. Got the top surgeon, got the top guy, and said you're gonna see him today. You know what I mean? Honestly, this is the thing. This is the thing. People don't understand. They're not educated in that. Like, it's like, guys, I've been to Houston, Texas, right? I went to Houston, Texas. I had a preconceived idea about Houston, Texas. Right, George Washington Hospital, or was it George Bush Hospital, whatever, and a hotel, sorry, airport. I shot a music video over there, right, and I thought, oh, it's going to be difficult. I heard that Texas is really bad and it's sinister, and it's one of the most hospitable places I've ever been in my life. Magnificent people. I had a taxi driver, right, when we were doing a music video, right, I had a taxi driver drive us around all week, and we had to pay the taxi driver at the end of the week. When we were about to pay the taxi driver said to us, I don't want your money. I don't want it. It was just a privilege to have something different, to be involved in this project. In London, no, mate, you know what I mean? No, you're gonna, you know, you have to think about the tax, mate, and all this, the petrol, mate, and da. Do you know what I mean? These are the things that happen in my hometown. You know? Hassan. Yeah, that's Desi Dads for you. Desi Dads. One of the Czech players is being down, being carried off the pitch. Football. That's football. Football is life. Football, yeah, football. I wish him well. Good morning, Leeson. How you doing? Perhaps try Muay Thai or Judo. I was a Muay Thai. Funny you should say that because I did Muay Thai for 7 years, mate. So Bethnal Green, Bill Judd, ask about me. Yeah, I did Muay Thai for 7 years, mate. Bethnal Green. You know what I mean? I also run every single day. So yeah, not many people can run every single day, especially at my age. That's why when I see people complaining about too much football, I'm like, it's too hot. It's too hot. I can't handle it. It's too hot. I run in the bloody 40-degree heat sometimes in the morning. I feel my head's going to burst, but I still do it. It helps you. It works. You know what I mean? Muay Thai, ask about Bill Judge. Look at Bill Judge. KO, Bethnal Green. Look online. Go to it. Unbelievable. Say, do you know Sal? It will help you out. You'll get a free lesson, mate. Ask him, do you know Sal? I did Muay Thai and I did semi-professional for 7 years, from the age of 16 to 24, 23, 24. Yeah. Yeah, man. Why do you think I got all these scars on my head? Anyway, it's a cross coming in from Korea. Can they get an equalizer? It's cleared there. I also played for a team called Hornchurch. Don't know if you heard of them. Non-league. They're semi-pro. Cross comes in. Header. Oh. 6 minutes of injury time, guys. 6 minutes of injury time. Mexico are taking full 9 points. Mexico have done it. Fantastic, Mexico. You know what I mean? These countries are amazing, Hussein. People don't understand about these countries. They don't understand, mate. 3-0 to Mexico. 3-0 to Mexico. Czechia are being absolutely annihilated, guys. It's 3-0 to Mexico. Game, set, match. Goodbye, Czech Republic. It's nice knowing ya. It's nice knowing ya, but they're going out in the World Cup. Nerve-wracking times for the fans here. The table, as we stand, Czechia are bottom, Mexico are top, South Africa third, South Africa second, Korea are fourth, third, sorry, and Czechia are bottom at the moment. They're going out, guys. The goal scorer for Mexico was Fidalgo, who is the goal scorer. Quinones got the second, by the way. Quinones is a player who plays for Alcazar. Guys, it's a excuse me, in Saudi Arabia. And obviously, Fidalgo is the third goal scorer. He plays for Real Betis in Spain. And they are 3-0 up. Guys, Korea, as we stand, face an anxious wait for the rest of the games to occur to understand where they're going to be finishing in regards to the best third place team. I personally feel you're going to need 4 points. I think Korea will be going out. Scotland are sweating as well. I think you need 4 points, 4 or 5 points to go through to that next round as third place. Yes, sir. Long ball. How many minutes we got? We got 2 minutes to go. South Korea are basically got two minutes to go. Basically got 2 minutes to go in this of their World Cup. They basically got 2 minutes to go to save their World Cup aspirations, because I think they will go out on 3 points. But here's a long ball. Remember, this is just the first game of the third game, if you know what I mean. So this is the first game of the third game. So there's going to be lots of changes, isn't it? Throw in to South Korea. South Korea just need to get everyone forward. If they have aspirations, they need to get everyone forward. You know what I mean? This isn't Squid Games, bruv. You need to go for it. Go on. Ah, that's a poor cross. If I ever saw one, that was a poor cross. I know they look like Squid Games, so they were all red and all that. But at the moment, it'd be L on the top because they'd be going out of the World Cup. Vamos, Reds, Mexico. Big up Mexico. Much love to the Mexicans. Absolute love Mexico. Long ball. England could be playing Mexico in the quarterfinal, all being well. Altitude and all that. Azteca Stadium, 1986. Diego Maradona. Hand of God. This is over. It literally got 10 seconds, South Korea. As we stand, South Africa are going through to the last 32. As we stand, it's South Africa who go into the last 32. Who would have thought after the first game that South Africa would be? There you go. Bafana, they're going through, guys, full time. It's South Africa going to the last 32. Congratulations to South Africa. Well deserved. They played the game the right way today, and they've gone through, guys. It's full time. Czechia 0, Mexico 3. Czechia going home, guys. Mexico finished top of the group. South Africa comes second in the group. Korea come third. As we stand, guys, if you look at the actual table, as we stand, in regards to the third place thing, let me just bring this into the equation. Here we go. So I'm going to give you this right now as we stand, guys. Let me share this. Bazi, add this to stage. Yeah, let me have a look at this. So basically, as we stand here, this is as if I refresh this team, let me have a look. There we go. So these are the league tables. This is Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. In regards to the third place teams, guys, we've got this. Let's go. All scroll all the way down. So we've got Bosnia, Sweden, Croatia, Korea are fourth in the third place situation. Algeria, Paraguay, Scotland, and Cape Verde. And remember, guys, this is just the second game of the third game. Sorry, it's the second game of the third game. There's still Senegal, Ecuador, DR Congo, Belgium, Cape Verde, Paraguay, Croatia, Sweden, who've got a game to go. So that can change. That can change very, very quickly. Very quickly indeed. So listen, it looks like Korea could be going home. Scotland could be going home. The best, maybe one of the teams that have 3 points will be going through. That's what it is, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up everyone. Big up everyone. Guys, look. Unbelievable. And congratulations to South Africa. Big up the people of South Africa. Congratulations. Well deserved. They are going through to the last 32. And yeah, I can't wait for that. The last 32 will start on Monday, I believe it will. Yes, and that should be interesting. Just to recap, Morocco 4, Haiti 2, Scotland 0, Brazil 3. Morocco guys, in regards to that, they finished second in the group with 7 points. Brazil have 7 points. Scotland have 3 points. Haiti have no points, but Haiti could hold their head up high. Did very well. Morocco and Brazil, 7 points are going through. Morocco is second place. Scotland need to sweat for the next couple of days. In regards to Czechia and Mexico and South Korea and South Africa, it is South Korea who are going into third place. Czechia out on 1 point. South Africa and Mexico go through. Mexico with 9 points, 3 out of 3. And South Africa with 4 points. Big up, everyone who's joined me today. It's been amazing. Goodness me. Love football. If you don't love football, I think you're going to be adopted to love football after this tournament. In America, soccer mums, that's what they always used to say, innit? Oh, soccer mums. There'll definitely be more than soccer mums going to football games next. I'll buy it by the end of the tournament, guys. I'll tell you right now. Beautiful game. Best game in the world. Have a great day, guys. England v Mexico will be interesting. I would love that. I would love that. Absolutely. I've got a lot of friends from Mexico, guys, from my time in Los Angeles. But you know what? One thing I would say, guys, love it. Take it easy, everyone. Enjoy it. Thank you, everyone, supporting the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, smash a like on the video. I'm back in 3 hours for Breaking Dawn, guys. No rest for the wicked. More coffee on the way, guys. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Lovely jubbly. Absolutely. And by the way, Switzerland, I haven't forgotten, Switzerland defeated Canada by 2-1 last night, of course, guys. So obviously Switzerland and Canada go through that group. Congratulations to them as well. Guys, Canada actually took the lead in that game. Switzerland actually took the lead, sorry. Another great performance from Manzambi as well for Switzerland. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you later for Breaking Dawn. Join me for that. See you soon. Peace.